He once said, "I was born with rage. It's all I ever knew." Maybe that was true, but long before the world crowned him Iron Mike, he was just a scared kid fighting ghosts no one else could see. Brownsville, Brooklyn, 1970s. The air tasted of rust and gunpowder. Broken glass glittered under streetlights, buildings leaned, windows boarded, dreams evicted. Every alley had a name, every corner a price. Survival wasn't a choice, it was the only subject taught. Young Michael ran with boys twice his age, shoplifting, fighting, stealing. The world had written him off before he learned to write his own name. And by 12, he weighed 200 pounds, a hulking figure in a child's world. Fighting every day, kids, their fathers, anyone who crossed him. He'd been arrested 38 times for petty crimes, street fights, lost days. Judges sighed, social workers shrugged. No one asked why, they only asked when he'd be back. But fate, strange, cruel and patient, had other plans. In the grey silence of Tryon School for Boys, a juvenile detention centre upstate, Counsellor Bobby Stewart watched the boys shadowbox in the yard. Not wild, not reckless, controlled, quick, compact. Like a storm folded into a fist. Stewart, a former Golden Gloves boxer, saw something. Not a delinquent, a diamond in the rough. He made a deal. You listen, you learn. And for the first time, someone spoke to the boy like he had a future. Stewart introduced him to Gus D'Amato, an old man in Catskills, a trainer, philosopher, dreamer. Gus lived in a Victorian house above a small gym. The air smelled of liniment, leather and cold coffee. Faded fight posters peeled from walls. Heavy bags hung like sleeping giants. Gus looked into those angry, stuttering eyes and didn't flinch. He didn't see a criminal, he saw potential. A champion, a son. You're not a thug, Gus told him. You're a weapon, and weapons need direction. Under Gus, chaos found rhythm. The boy who fought the streets learned to fight with purpose. Morning started before dawn, shadowboxing in the frost, breath clouding like smoke. Gus in the corner, low voice. Fear is the greatest obstacle to learning, but fear is your best friend. Fear is like a fire. If you learn to control it, you let it work for you. If you don't, it'll destroy you and everything around you. Footwork replaced fear. Discipline replaced despair. Gus taught a peekaboo style, hands high, a fortress that moved like a blade. Defence as offence, patience as power. In that small Catskill gym with creaking floorboards and cracked mirrors, a legend began to breathe. Tyson's days became ritual. Run 5 miles through the pine forest, spar until knuckles bled, study old fight films at night. Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano. Gus narrated like scripture. Speed is truth. Power is belief, but character is everything. Evenings they talked, not about boxing, but life, ego, fear, the difference between strong and being free. I don't train fighters, Gus said, I build men. But character is fragile, and destiny is cruel to those who think they can master it. In the gym, walls rattled with a rhythm of breath, speed bag, heavy bag, ring bell, a heartbeat shaped into violence. Gus stood in the corner like a priest at the pulpit, whispering gospel between rounds. Mike listened. He learned to turn fire into heat, not destruction, and soon the boy who fought for survival was fighting for identity. Amateur boxing didn't know what had hit it. Tournament after tournament, he left trails of disbelief. Fighters twice his age, it didn't matter. He didn't need to win. He fought to erase doubt. In small, smoky halls, the air shifted when his name was called. People watched not to see if he'd win, but how long the other kid could stay conscious. By 16, he'd flattened men in seconds. Junior Olympic champion in 1981 and 1982, stopping opponents with punches like car crashes. His right up short, violent, perfect, a hammer that found every chin. And at 17, he knocked out Kelton Brown in 8 seconds. The referee didn't even bother counting. But destiny doesn't wait for medals. Cus knew the amateurs couldn't hold him. He's ready. He told managers, Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton, he's a fighting machine. All we have to do now is wind the clock. Albany, New York, professional debut. Tyson, 18, stocky, calm, silent. Across the ring, Hector Mercedes, confident, untested. The bell rang. 1 minute, 47 seconds later, a short left hook, a body shot, folded him. Mercedes hit the canvas. With that thud, a new era in the heavyweight boxing began. Over the next 12 months, 19 fights, 19 wins, 12 first round knockouts. Every night a new victim. Every morning the legend grew. Crowds came to witness the precision violence, silence, then destruction. Commentators ran out of adjectives. Trainers ran out of plans. Tyson wasn't just winning, he was rewriting the heavyweight movement. Shorter than most, faster than all. He slipped punches by inches, countered before the first returned. Hooks, uppercuts, body shots, a symphony of controlled aggression. Under Kevin Rooney, Cus's protege, his form sharpened to surgical levels. Every combination drilled into instinct. Peekaboo guard tight as armour, head movement like liquid steel. He'd slip left, weave right, appear behind the jab, as if time paused for him alone. Old-timers like Jack Dempsey reborn. Young fans saw something new. To the world, Iron Mike. To himself, still the scared kid from Brownsville, now aiming the fear. He demolished opponents like memorised chapters Donnie Long, Ricardo Spain, Sterling Benjamin. Each promised a test, each lasted less than a round. When he knocked out Eddie Richardson in just over a minute, sports writers arrived early to not miss it. When he sent Mark Young spinning, trainers whispered, something unnatural is happening here. In 1985, Cus D'Amato died. Mike was 19. Still more boy than man, searching for a father in a world that wanted only his fists. He stood at the grave in the rain, no tears, just silent and swallowed sound. Without Gus, the machine ran on its own. Promoters circled like vultures, cameras flashed, contracts multiplied. The kid from Brownsville became a storm. He fought like a man late for something, every punch a confession, every knockout a release. Jimmy Jacobs, his mentor, was dying. Don King was waiting, that grin like a salesman at Heaven's Gate. Mike didn't know it yet, but the machine Cus built to save him was about to eat him alive. And by 1986, 22-0, the youngest contender in a division that felt old and slow. Every win faster, harder, colder, every knockout, destiny accelerating. But now he was untouchable, a weapon honed to perfection. A storm in human form. The world didn't know it yet. Trevor Berbick was next. The boy who fought for pigeons and survival was about to claim the heavyweight crown as the youngest champion ever. Even when his body screamed, like the night before Berbick, battling gonorrhea, antibiotics barely holding it at bay, he pushed through. November the 22nd, 1986. At 20 years, 4 months, 22 days old, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. The crowd chanted his name like a warning. Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, the baddest man on the planet. Black trunks, no road, no music, just silence before disaster. And when the bell rang, he didn't box, he hunted. It wasn't sport, it was survival. The only thing he'd ever known. I had the clap, he admitted, but I didn't care. I was there to nail Berbick. For the first time, the kid from Brownsville stood alone at the top, and that's where the real fight began. But success feeds the same hunger that kept you alive. Cameras loved him, headlines needed him. The boy disappeared into the myth. Discipline eroded, late nights, fast money, dangerous company. Everyone wanted a piece of Mike, the fighter, not the man. Don King arrived with gold chains and promises. Their relationships, firing gasoline, explosive, part business, part battlefield. And during one argument, Tyson swung, later joking, "I hate him so hard I flattened his hair for a week." Reporters sharpened pens, women, cars, tigers, mansions, fame. That invisible predator did what no opponent could. It slowed him down. At his peak, Tyson bought 3 Bengal tigers, Kenya, Storm, and Boris. Because what's more gangster than tigers? They roamed his mansion, once bit a woman's arm after she jumped the fence. Tyson made it right with a new Rolls Royce. Chaos with courtesy. Beneath the chaos, his softest spot, pigeons. Reporters laughed. Why spend fortunes on birds? Because pigeons never judge me. In Tyson's world, that was peace. His marriage to Robin Givens, a whirlwind of drama. Late 80s, mid-divorce, Tyson dropped by unannounced. Outstepped Brad Pitt, young, blonde, 5 seconds from his own survival film. Pitt froze. "Please man, don't hit me. We were just running lines." Mike stared, half confused, half amused, and let him go. Hollywood handled the drama. Jealousy simmered. And at Richard Dent's 1988 birthday party, Tyson confronted Michael Jordan, who dating Givens, fueled by Long Island iced teas and paranoia. "Hey man, you think I'm stupid?" Jordan looked ghostly. Don King diffused as Tyson threatened to bust Jordan's ass. Then the TV moment. Givens called her marriage pure torture on national television. Tyson silent beside her. I didn't know if I should nod, cry, or run. Behind closed doors, uglier. Tyson punched her in Steve Lott's apartment, calling it the best punch he ever landed. She really offended me, and I went bam. Antics spilled into streets. After arguing with Givens at Burger King, she crashed his car. Cops arrived. Tyson, unlicensed and fearing arrest, handed over his Rolls Royce. Said to the police, "Just keep it." They did, later getting busted when photos surfaced. One night, crazily enough, he rented out the entire zoo. At the gorilla enclosure, seeing one bullying others, he offered the zookeeper $10,000 to climb in and teach it some manners. His offer was wisely declined. I was serious, that gorilla had it coming. Every day faster, louder, harder to steer. And by 1988, Tyson wasn't just a fighter, he was an empire in motion. Breaks gone, nights stretched into mornings, arguments with Robin, calls from Don King, entourages, noise, unaccountable money. The ring was the only place that made sense. Everywhere else, static. September 88, 17 months before Tokyo, chaos caught up. BMW convertible, winding New York roads. Too fast, too tired, too angry. He hit a tree before seeing it. Impact twisted the metal like foil. Sirens, reporters, the undefeated champion, half conscious, face cut, eyes dazed, lifted onto a stretcher under flashing lights. To the world, a crash. To those who knew, a warning. Not about speed or steel, the collision of a man who'd lost control of his miss. Cus's discipline gone. The storm stirred itself. They carried him to the ambulance. Dazed, he murmured, I'm fine. But he wasn't, not anymore. The machine kept running. Cameras, headlines, chaos, but inside something cracked. He survived the crash, but the calm, focused fighter was disappearing in the wreckage, bringing us up to February 11th, 1990. Tokyo Dome. Buster Douglas, 42-1 underdog. Tyson arrived, distracted, untethered, mind buried in lawsuits, chaos, late nights, hunger replaced by noise. The night before, club hopping with Bobby Brown, duffel bags of cash, hangers-on, ghosts, handing out money like confetti. A hotel suite, thumping music, flowing champagne, dozens of girls, cocaine, laughing, unstoppable, burning through the night. But morning brought the biggest upset in boxing history. Fight he lost started long before the bell. Douglas, silent, focused, stoic, grieving his mother's recent death, fought with nothing to lose. The bell rang. Contrast immediate. Douglas tall, disciplined, sharp jab. Tyson couldn't slip. Each round, jab, a hammer, snapping head back, leaving him blinking, confused. The laws of physics had changed. Tyson's corner, chaos, no ice, no plan, shouting, Cus's foundation rotted. By the 8th, thunderous right uppercut sent Douglas crashing. He looked over, Miff ready to continue, but Douglas rose, eyes clear, fist steady, grief in his hands. 2 rounds later, perfection, a 4-punch combination ripped through the defence. Right, left, another right. Tyson staggered, mouthpiece half out, body forgetting. He fell to his knees, blinking at lights, searching for lost fire. It was gone. The referee counted. The world stood still. Myth of invincibility ended, not with a roar, but a blink. Buster Douglas stood over the fallen champion. Boxing changed forever. He'd been built to destroy, not endure. Then the fall. Beauty pageant, Desiree Washington, rape trial, conviction, prison. 3 years in the Indiana Youth Center. Cell 17, alone with silence again. No crowds, no promoters, no one to dictate identity. He read Malcolm X, Mao, Che Guevara, Nietzsche. Books became windows. He trained, push-ups on concrete, shadowboxing in the dark. Wrote unsent letters. Rage turned inward. Not self-pity, but reflection. Behind walls, Mike met himself. The monster was a shield from boyhood. Rage that built him broke him. In the contradiction, peace. Prison wasn't all isolation. He had a relationship with a female guard. Sex multiple times a day. He impregnated her. I was living the life. Everybody gave me what I wanted. Tupac Shakur visited, jumping on tables, pumping inmates. Guards wary, but Tyson cherished it. Gates opened March 1995. Cameras returned. The world unchanged, but he had. Body the same. Power there, eyes different, older, tired, haunted by victory's cost. They called it a comeback, truly an aftershock, chasing an echo, trained like a soldier, but discipline fractured. Hunger there, not guided by purpose, survival again. Peter McNeely, KO in 89 seconds, the crowd roared. Mike didn't smile. Frank Bruno, another belt, but a hollow crown. Evander Holyfield, November 9th, 1996, MGM Grand. The world expected annihilation. Instead, they watched a resurrection. Holyfield, older, smaller, written off, came with a plan. Jab, clinch, grind, repeat. Tyson swung wild. His legs betrayed him by the 5th. The peekaboo style cracked open. The storm had no answers for patience. Round after round, Holyfield marched forward. Blood poured from Tyson's eye. The crowd hushed. In the 10th, a left hook folded him. He rose at 9, but the fire was gone. Round 11, referee Mitch Halpin waved it off. Baddest man on the planet was beaten by a man who refused to blink. The myth didn't just crack, it shattered on live television. And 7 months later, June the 28th, 1997, same ring, Tyson arrived, unhinged. Holyfield arrived, again unbreakable. The world expected destruction, but they saw desperation, fighting undying ghosts. Holyfield headbutted, clinched, fought dirty. Tyson bled, broke, and round 3, That famous bite, not once, twice, tore off a chunk of Holyfield's ear, spat it out, frustrated over head clashes. I bit him because I wanted to kill him. I was really mad about the head being bumped. I lost consciousness for the whole of the fight. Disqualified, fined $3 million, licence suspended, mocked, feared, forgotten. He drifted. Fights came and went. In the year 2000, a UK fight, he fought high cocaine, marijuana, before KOing Lou Severis in round 1. He passed his drug test with the infamous Whizzinator, a fake penis with clean urine. One time, I used my wife's, and she said, "Baby, you better not hope it comes back pregnant." And before the Lennox Lewis fight in 2002, there was a press conference brawl. Tyson punched a bodyguard. He and Lewis rolled on the floor. He bit a chunk off Lewis's thigh, fined $335,000 for his foul-mouthed tirade. Too explicit to discuss here. And then, the iconic face tattoo. Maori tribal. It was almost going to be hearts, but the artist refused. It was inked weeks before his 2003 fight. Later, that famous tattoo sparked a lawsuit. Warner Brothers copied it for The Hangover Part 2. They settled quietly. Even Mike Tyson's ink packs a punch. And by 2005, he quit mid-fight versus Kevin McBride. Retired in the ring. "I'm just fighting to take care of my bills. I'm sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have the guts for this anymore. My heart's not in it." Raw admission, chasing money, not glory. Headlines faded, and in the descent, he stopped running from the boy inside. He began to laugh, soft, honest, not that maniac raw. He talked pain, fear, love, interviews, philosophical, ego, humility, letting go. People saw Mike Tyson, the thinker, farmer, father, man, who raised pigeons again, like the boy who fought for one. He built a coop in his yard, watched them circle, married, divorced, married again. Had children, held them, apologised, tried to be the father that he'd never had. Time softened edges, but it didn't erase the past. You can't outrun the machine. It hums, waiting, but he learned to live beside it, with understanding, not fear or denial. I'm not the same person I was, a boy in pain, trying to act like a man he wasn't. Maybe his story, transformation, the weapon learning it fought itself, not the world. Podcast, hotboxing with Mike Tyson. Sat with rappers, philosophers. He listened more, laughed at myths, acted, stood on stages, told stories, cried before strangers, said I'm sorry to Robin Givens, visited prisons, spoke to kids like the 12-year-old him. You're not your worst day, you're not your anger, you're not what they say, and he meant it. 2020, age 54, an exhibition versus Roy Jones Jr. No winner, just two old lions dancing, moved slow, smiled between rounds, hugged at the end. The world expected blood, but they got grace. And in 2024 versus Jake Paul, lost. He stood tall, thanked the kid, walked away laughing, no rage, no shame, just peace. Now he smiles disarmingly, surprised he made it. He knows peace is fragile, rage never leaves, but you choose what to feed. The boy fed anger. The man feeds his soul. The worst thing about being powerful is you forget to be kind. That's the quiet truth behind the storm. Kindness, what he fought for, unknowingly. Watch old clips, knockouts, stare downs, chaos. Look closer, past fists and fury. Not a monster, a reflection of fear, pain. Everyone mistaking survival for strength. Mike Tyson, a storm. Funny, terrifying, magnetic. His life, madness. The world couldn't look away. The rage fed the machine. The machine built the man. The man, after noise and years, learned to turn it off. Doesn't need the belt, the cheers, just quiet, the stillness after fighting every battle, realising the last was with yourself. That was Mike Tyson, the rage that fed the machine. Sometimes the fight isn't with who you defeat, but who you become when the gloves come off. The final bell doesn't ring in the ring, but in the silence when you lay down your weapons. I'm Jono Kirk, this is Kirk's Corner, and that's me signing out.